Hi, I'm Roman Howell here with Haydenfilms Institute at San Diego Comic-Con 2015. Here to check out some of the indie comics we have down here on the show floor. Here we got a couple artists. We got Neil and Neo here. Tell us about your project, guys.
Go ahead. Our project is Clan of the Vein. It's a vampire hunter action showcase about this character named Ian McBain. He's like a vampire hunter. Imagine it as basically Die Hard with vampires, except all our vampires are these big monstrous beasts taken from all sorts of different world mythology, and they do not sparkle unless they're exploding.
Very true. Yeah, our vampires are actually, none of them look like human beings. They're all monsters. But when we both teamed up to do this project, we both want to do something really kind of cool, very action-paced, very high energy. And we actually created a new character called the Techno Vampire, which we're actually coining with our project.
All right, interesting. So what parts did you guys serve on the projects? What did you guys play?
Basically, Neo and I both co-created the project. Neo took the lead with being the writer on the project. We did a freaking amazing job, and I'm the artist behind the project.
Yes, I am the writer of the project, but Neil contributed a lot to the story. So it was a marriage of like art and writing together. So we'd brainstorm ideas, and he would draw stuff, and then we would write, and then go back and just keep going through the process over and over until we had a story that we loved.
All right, and what was the main inspiration for this project?
Honestly, all the old horror shows I used to watch growing up, Dark Shadows, Night Stalker, especially all the Christopher Lee Hammer films. I grew up watching all those movies, and I really wanted to do something that was vampire related that would take you back to the way the old things were. I'm not a big, I know Twilight's cool and all, but hey, I really want to take it back to the old school, like Die Hard, like monster fighting. That's what really kind of we bonded over when we were doing this. That's kind of really was my inspiration for doing this project.
Yeah, for me it was just growing up watching way too many horror movies of the 80s and the 90s and such, and then just all my love of all the action movies of that era, all the buddy cop movies, the Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, all the Shane Black stuff, and then of course all the Hammer films and stuff, which Neil and I both just are obsessively in love with.
Well, the art style, basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a marriage. I work as a storyboard artist on movies, but I also do comic books too, so I wanted to do a marriage of the both. So the art style that I did was very high energy, kind of a mixture of Mike Mignola and also John Byrne and Michael Golden, very high energy, like high apex artwork. So like every panel that I did was, I basically designed it to kind of go along with the storyboards for movies. So like when you actually look at the comic book, it actually looks like actual film stills. So it actually looks like a movie. So when people who are directors and producers look at the book, they go, wow, this looks like an actual movie and actual film stills, and that's what I was trying to go for. So I tried to, the colors that I used, Jason Walton, God bless you. Jason is the guy who's been coloring my work for a long time, but he actually lights everything like a director of photography, which is why I wanted to work with him on this project. And he's been coloring my stuff ever since. Our main character's name is Ian McBain. He's a legendary vampire hunter who's also a vampire. He also happens to be an artist too, and he basically uses his art to fund his vampire hunting expeditions. And the cool thing about our character is too, he actually lives on technology that Neo and I both created using an alchemic serum. So he can't even feed by actually chewing on human beings. He doesn't feed on humans, but he actually gets these animals liquefied and has it pumped through his body. Hence why we have the phrase calling it the techno vampire, because he actually uses technology to keep himself alive.
It's like he's pumping this alchemic serum into his body through like an old dialysis machine, and filling his veins with all this weird crap. But it like makes him strong and allows him to live, but then he kind of makes him frail and gross, too at the same time. So he's like sort of ailing and aging because he's not consuming human blood. He's a vampire and he needs to. So, and then at a point in the story, of course, he consumes human blood again through a sort of random act, and then suddenly he becomes powerful again. So it's really actually very cool. So, but what's I think awesome is that the character is an artist. And so like so much of what happens in this story stems from the art of the story and all this beautiful art that this crazy sick man here did. His art is sick, awesome. It just inspires the hell out of me as a writer. So I love working with him, and this is awesome.
All right, so where can readers who are interested in your work check out Clan of the Vein?
Well, we have a website, which is www.clanofthevein.com. We have a news section on there where you can see what's going on with the project. We give you updates every week, and like with all the projects we're both working on together and also independently. But you can also buy a copy of the comic book on the website and also through Indie Planet. So if you go to clanofthevein.com/comic, you can actually get a digital copy online directly through Indie Planet, or you can actually buy a printed version too. And also we're actually featured on this new season of MTV's Teen Wolf, hence why we have the logo up
the As Seen on Teen Wolf. Yes.
So yeah, we're on the entire season of Teen Wolf, season 5. And we're featured in all the artwork from the book is featured in Styles' bedroom. So that's actually helping get us a little bit of publicity too right now, which we're doing it because we're actually submitting the project right now for a film.
Yes. Yes, we're dealing with a management company right now, Spire Talent Management, and Kinga Smith, who is our manager, standing over there, looking at us. Yeah, she's waving, so she's very good and tolerant and patient of us and our boy shenanigans. But yeah, they're helping us shop the project around, and a lot of great things, exciting things happening. But we're not allowed to talk about all of them yet because of NDAs and rules. So all the stuff we want to talk about right now, we are not necessarily allowed to, but there's definitely a lot of stuff happening, and we will be seeing big things from Clan of the Vein soon.
All right, sounds very exciting. Anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, I have a novel out right now. It's a werewolf huntress version of Red Riding Hood called Red Rising Rise of the Werewolf Huntress. I originally published it on Amazon, as like an indie novel, and a few months ago, Kevin J. Anderson's company, Wordfire Press, just picked it up, and they gave me a 3-novel deal. So they're republishing it. It's going to be actually published into bookstores worldwide. Coming, I believe, in October. And then that's part of a multi-book series. So we will be doing awesome things here in the future. And we're also developing that for film. So.
All right, that all sounds exciting. Thank you very much for talking to us, guys. All right, so now let's move on over to our next group over here. Guys, hello, thank you for waiting. Hello. So here we got Antonio and we got Johnny, and they're here to talk about your projects. Guys, tell me what you were working on.
Well, my project is Invictus, Friend or Foe, and through my company, Cupid Comics, LLC. And Invictus is an action-adventure comic book series about Alex Archer, who is a mutant who has the ability to shadow bend. So he can teleport, he can shadow form, shadow phase, make weapons from shadows. He has some psionic abilities where he can attack people psychically, and he can see in the dark.
All right.
So he was born to destroy humanity, but he was raised to be humanity's savior. So he has to find a way to cure his blackout rages and change his own fate in order to save the fate of humanity.
All right, that sounds exciting. Johnny, what about you?
Templar actually comes out on app on App Store for Apple this week, so I'm very excited about that. Put a lot of hard work into it. And the story itself really harkens back to Star Wars meets 300 meets Lord of the Rings. You got 2 protagonists who are confronting their demons figuratively and literally during a demon apocalypse. So it's got a lot of layers to it, which I really like.
All right, sounds like a great epic. So can you guys tell me about the art style you guys chose for your work?
Well, I'll let Neil do that. Neil did the illustration for my comic book, and his colorist Jason Walton did the coloration for it.
Style, basically the same team. Jason Walton, who's my colorist, who I will only work with ever again after this. Jason and I are the same team that worked on Clan of the Veins. We were working on Antonio's book too. We basically used the same kind of formula. We wanted to keep everything very cinematic. We wanted to keep everything very high energy, like high octane. So all the camera shots that we did were all based on like basically movie stills and everything too. So we really want to have a lot of stuff that kind of popping towards the camera, kind of stuff to really pop off the page, make it very dynamic. So we didn't want to keep everything confined to panels. We actually want to break off the panels. That's kind of the art style that we really decided to use for this project.
All right, Johnny, what about you? What about your art style?
Well, I think the common thread that we actually have here, Antonio and I, is we went to the best, we went to Neil. I was a fan of his work, and I think when you're trying to tell a story, you actually have to find the absolute perfect artist for that. And Neil was the guy, and then I had Paul Mendoza, super talented guy up in Portland, do all the inking, and he does some amazing, really eye-popping stuff as well too. So the marriage between the 2 of them on this really, I thought, was magic.
All right, sounds great. So can you tell me what was your main inspiration for your stories?
I was heavy into Marvel collecting, Spider-Man and X-Men and all those guys, and so I don't know, it was a mix between Nightcrawler from the Marvel series, the T-1000 from Terminator, and Spider-Man, I guess, and try to combine that into a story that's about a kid from the inner city, because we don't always have superheroes in the inner city. We don't have them that much in the Marvel or DC universe. So I wanted to create my own, someone that inner city kids could relate to, people of color, someone who had some cool powers that kind of demonstrated the resilience and power of the African American community or people of color, and some of the weaknesses as well.
All right, sounds great. And Johnny, what about you?
2 things actually. The unintended hero. I think each one of us has a hero inside of us. Are we willing to let it out and make the world a better place? And the other one was 1977, getting in the car after seeing Star Wars for the first time with my dad, and probably my first and most special memory.
All right. right. So tell me, what are you most excited about your projects? What's like the big plot point that you can't wait for the readers to see?
I can't tell you that. I can't.
It was worth a try.
Big plot point, but I want all the readers to read and get a feel for how Alex is as a person as well as a superhero. And I want them to go on to my website, cupidcomics.com, www.cupidcomics.com, and check out the animatic trailer that I've put together. It's a 2.5-minute animatic trailer of these first 2 issues. I think they'll be excited to see that.
All right. Johnny?
I think what inspired me actually for the cover of Templar, you can see actually here on the t-shirt, is I use this as a mirror, and I hold it up to the people that actually look at it, and what do you see in yourself?
Well, I see someone from Assassin's Creed.
Oh, well, that wasn't the point. I mean, we did this like 5 years ago, so I don't know when all that came out, but you know, I think what it is that we got 2 protagonists like Luke and Han Solo, and that's kind of the model. And then who do you sort of put yourself in? Who do you, you know, kind of assimilate to? And to me, this is just a mirror, and then tells you a lot about yourself.
All right. Well, Antonio, you already told us about finding your work on Cupid.com. Johnny, how can we check out Templar?
On the App Store. It's a real great download. It's a free with an in-app purchase. And what I'm really proud about is that you actually get to see the comic. It's like, I call it a comic book conception. You see it from A to Z. You see how it all plays out, and it's a great experience. You get to see the whole Templar universe.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that my comic book kind of deals with the issue of whether we can or not determine our own fate, or is our fate set for us. So it's really about making the right choices in life and trying to stop or create a different destiny or different fate for yourself.
All right.
For me, I just go back to being a little kid. I got a big story to tell, and I had to have a medium like a comic book to tell it. I needed all the visuals, and then once I met Neil, it just all sort of made sense and came together.
All right. Well, you guys are a big inspiration for all indie comic creators out there. Is there anything you're really excited about Comic-Con now that you're here?
This is talk about. I'm honestly Star Wars. I'm really hoping I get some information. I'm going to be here most of the time, but I mean, like, I'm just dying to hear about all the Star Wars stuff. That's what's really my big thing right now. Obviously, we're all Star Wars fans.
Everyone's excited about that.
My son loves the Ninja Turtles, so I gotta go and at least take a picture with the Ninja Turtles. He's 6 years old and he couldn't be here, but I'm gonna take a picture with them. I'm gonna get some Minecraft stuff, and I'm gonna get some stuff from the Minions, and I'll make him happy on his 6th birthday coming up next August, or this coming August.
All right. So, anything else? No. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, for taking your time to interview with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a great time. That does it for us here at that San Diego Comic-Con panel. Please check out our website, haydenfilmsinstitute.org, to see all our coverage for the San Diego Comic-Con. You can check out all the sites for these guys' comics. You'll find the links in the video description, and you can see all their work. Check it out and support them.